Welcome to my views and news, another video for you. Firstly, Tigray Central Command issued a statement an hour ago. The statement is obviously about fall of Tigray's cities to federal forces, Eritrean forces, but only one city is mentioned in this statement. Secondly, some TDF tanks have been captured by Ethiopian National Defense Force. Pictures, videos are being shared. On which front were these tanks captured? And thirdly, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke about the ongoing conflict in Ethiopia a few hours ago. What did he say? And what will UN do? US, UN, EU, and Africa Union do as well now when ENDF and EDF are eyeing Mekelle, Tigray's capital. Firstly, viewers, Tigray Central Command issued a statement just a few minutes ago, around an hour ago. Tigray Central Command consists of politicians and generals. Debretsion Gabriel Mikhail is part of this Central Command, General Varede as well. So TPLF, Tigray government leadership and TDF, they're part of this central body in Tigray. Tigray Central Command is confirming that Shire is under ENDF control, in ENDF EDF control. But it says that it happens in wars, that forces are pushed out of cities, cities are retaken as well. So temporarily, sometimes areas come under enemy forces. It happens. Only Shire is mentioned in this statement. No mention of other places like Vaja, Tamoga, Alamata. At least Alamata has been confirmed to be under ENDF Amhara control. Pictures are being shared, videos as well showing some people celebrating in Alamata city. But Tigray Military Command, Tigray Central Command, not Military Command, only mentioned Shire. Perhaps Shire is more strategic, bigger city, that is why. Secondly, Tigray Central Command says that Abiy and Isaias have launched massive offensives on all fronts. Genocidal campaign is underway. Survival of Tigrayans is in danger. So this is fight for survival. That is why Tigrayans should unite. They should be ready, because this is war for their survival. If they are defeated, they'll be exterminated. And Ethiopian and Eritrean rulers want to wipe out Tigrayans. That is why Tigrayans should see it as a war of survival. That is what has been the narrative of the government, Tigray real government, for months. That Tigrayans are being targeted. All Tigrayans, not just TDF fighters. Lastly, Tigray Central Command address the international community. The international community should play its role. It should ensure immediate stopping of war. It should ensure flow of aid to Tigray. International community is issuing statements. We have seen statements from EU, US, UN, Africa Union as well. And the statements are about calls for stopping of war. But war is not stopping. Ethiopian federal government has openly rejected the calls for immediate ceasefire, because government has an advantage. It is in a stronger position, federal government. So it wants this war to continue, to completely corner TPLF, TDF leadership. So Tigray Military Command has confirmed today that Shire is under ENDF, EDF control. No mention of Alamata, Quorum as well. We're waiting for visual confirmation from Quorum. I reported about Shire, Vaja, Temoga, Alamata, Bala. These have come under ENDF Amhara control. Quorum, it is being said, is also under ENDF Amhara control. We're waiting for some visual confirmation. And Mihoni as well. That no visual confirmation so far. Secondly, some TDF tanks have been captured by Ethiopian Federal Forces. Pictures and videos are being shared of the captured tanks. And the videos are from Vaja. Vaja, first town, small town you come across when you enter Tigray, southern Tigray from Wollo. And Vaja came under ENDF Amhara control around 5 to 6 days ago. And from Vaja they moved towards other areas. Then we saw Temoga, Alamata. The videos show at least 2 tanks. One is slightly damaged, if not fully, and the other one seems to be in working conditions, not damaged. These are T-62 tanks of Tigray Defense Force, which are now, which have been captured by ENDF and Amhara forces. Or the video from Vaja showing Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers with these captured tanks, T-62 tanks. Lastly, viewers, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres spoke today calling for immediate stopping of war in northern Ethiopia. He said there is no military solution to this conflict. Now, when TDF is under pressure, whoever is supporting immediate cessation of hostilities is being labeled as pro-TPLF. That since TPLF is about to be wiped out, so that is why their supporters, their enablers are now trying to stop the war. It's not that entire Tigray has come under ENDF, Amhara control, EDF control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 towns coming under ENDF, EDF does not mean that EDF, ENDF has taken control of entire Tigray. We have seen that in November 2020. War went on even after Mekelle came under ENDF, EDF control. So what is being said is that there is no military solution to this conflict. Yes, ENDF, EDF, Amhara forces can take control of Tigray's major cities like Shire has fallen, Alamata as well, maybe Korum too. But can it bring peace? Can it lead to stopping of war? It did not happen in November 2020. Even after Mekelle came under ENDF, EDF control, war went on. So that is what is being said by international powers, that there is no military solution to this conflict. Conflict will be resolved at the table. The two sides will have to sit at the table and make some concessions as well. They have to show some flexibility. Tigray showed some flexibility after it came under pressure militarily. Now federal government has a significant military advantage. That is why it is not considering the offer of stopping of war made by Tigray regional government. EU spoke today, UN as well, all are urging the government to stop the war, but will these international institutions go beyond issuing statements? Will they try to create consensus for imposition of sanctions on the Ethiopian federal government? Nothing is going to come at the UN Security Council, at UN. UN will just issue statements, maybe EU as well. Only US can take unilateral measures. But US so far is diplomatically engaged with the Ethiopian federal government, though some US officials are calling for sanctions on Ethiopian federal government. But so far, US is trying to remain engaged with Ethiopian federal government through dialogue. So no signs of any real pressure upon Ethiopian federal government so far, international pressure to stop this war. Take a listen to what Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General, said about the conflict in Ethiopia a few hours ago.
The situation in Ethiopia is spiraling out of control. Violence and destruction have reached alarming levels. The social fabric is being ripped apart. Hostilities in the Tigray region of Ethiopia must end now, including the immediate withdrawal and disengagement of Eritrean armed forces from Ethiopia. There is no military solution. Civilians are paying a horrific price. Indiscriminate attacks, including in residential areas, are killing more innocent people every day, damaging critical infrastructure, and limiting